Welcome to Evilive, your one-stop location online for the most Tolkien of recipes, which answers the question, can a fish pie be a pie with no crust? Subscribe if you're new to the channel because today we're making the recipe Brandywine fish pie from Recipes from the World of Tolkien by Robert Tousley Anderson. I am not confident that I made this correctly, as there are a few touch points where I was noticing shortcomings. Let's begin with an overview of the ingredients. 10 ounces of peeled and deveined raw shrimp, 10 ounces white fish, we used cod, 2 teaspoons cornstarch, which didn't seem remotely sufficient, 2 teaspoons green peppercorns in brine, 1 small fennel bulb, roughly chopped, I use anise fennel, 1 small leek, trimmed, cleaned and roughly chopped, 1 1/2 cup dill, 1 1/2 cup Italian parsley, 2/3 cup fresh or frozen peas, 5 baking potatoes, thinly sliced, 3/4 cup cheddar cheese grated, and salt and black pepper. For the cheese sauce, I had 1 cup and 2 tablespoons of milk. This did not also seem to be enough. 1 small onion, 1 bay leaf, 4 tablespoons butter, and about 1/3 cup all-purpose flour, and 1 cup cheddar, grated. With my ingredients all accounted for, I began with the cheese sauce. I chopped my onion and added it to a warm pot. Then I added my milk and bay leaf. I stirred it until it was nearly boiling, then removed it from the heat to infuse for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I strained the milk, and this was my first error. I didn't get every ounce of milk from this pan, which affected the cheese sauce later on. Next, I prepped another pot, adding the butter, allowing it to melt. Then I added the flour slowly, stirring the whole time to incorporate. I continued stirring for 2 minutes, then removed it from the heat and added the milk until blended. I brought it back onto the heat for 2 minutes and then took it back off the heat to add the cheese. I knew this was too thick, but not ever making this recipe before, I just forged ahead. I had to take the shell from the shrimp, then wash and dry them and the cod. This is the second issue I ran into. I don't know how they expected this much seafood to be covered with this little cornstarch, even adding salt and pepper, but I did my best, though it does look comical. This final portion of prepping the recipe was arguably my worst effort of all. Time had run away from me, and my friends were coming over even though I started this recipe an hour before the noted time requirement. Using a mortar and pestle, I crushed the green peppercorns, then rough chopped the fennel bulb and leek. I was supposed to use a food processor, but I don't own one, so I just used a hand blender we did have, and changed containers quickly after realizing it wasn't mixed properly. I am not confident this is the right consistency at all, but with the dill and parsley included, it looked more like a pesto than anything else. Not knowing the size of the baking dish required either, I used a large one and poured the vegetable blend in the bottom, trying my level best to spread it out. Next, I scattered the fish and shrimp on the fennel mixture, mixing them together a bit. Then, I scattered the peas over the top of it all. I added half of my too substantive cheese mix, trying to smooth it over the fish and shrimp with little to no success. Next, I chopped the potatoes into slices, but as I was frustrated at this point and rushed, not all slices were remotely even. I made 2 layers, overlapping the potatoes and seasoning each layer as I completed them. Finally, I added the remaining cheese sauce and again, poorly spread it out, topping it all with the last of the grated cheese. I preheated my oven to 425 degrees for 30 minutes to add a crust to the top of the dish. Then I reduced the temperature of the oven to 350, cooking it for another 40 minutes. This cooked all the seafood thoroughly. We let it cool and paired it with a multi-leaf salad blend. With all my faults in preparing this dish, it was delicious. In the future, I will double the amount of fish and milk for the cheese sauce. I will also not be recording it or making it in a time crunch so I can relax and have fun while doing so. I will give this execution of the dish 3 out of 5 evil eyes, with the hopeful 4th evil eye after I correct my mistakes. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, like it or not, evil spelled backwards is live, so get out there and be evil.